Oh, well, will you look at that?
What?
While Mr. Mengkin is over
What
there.
happened?
What? Huh?
What happened?
Nothing, my dude. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Welcome to Breaking News Minimum Effort Podcast.
Just messing,
so,
guys. I didn't drink any of it.
How does it work? Justin from the Republic.
The war on Naboo has.
The war in the dojo has continued, and now one of the generals are stepping out of the ring. And that's right, our fellow Yokozuna Terunofuji has deemed himself retired.
Shocking. No, I don't think it's that shocking. It's not shocking. I think the timing of him retiring is what's shocking.
Yes,
I think most people expected it.
I put out a prediction episode literally last year saying that he was going to retire last year. I thought for sure. Because, his knees ain't loyal. Those knees ain't loyal. No. But yeah, I was like, man, this is done. He's done. But I definitely felt dumb when you were like, he doesn't have his elder stock. And I was like, yeah, my prediction is wrong. I was barely wrong. I was off by literally a month.
Mm-hmm.
So
it happens.
Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, as all of you seen, Terunofuji, not yet. Well, the 16th in Japan in here, he said he had made up his mind about retiring, but he hadn't handed in his notice yet, retirement notice.
Right.
Today it was confirmed he handed in his retirement notice, and the JSA have approved his retirement. That's why he had a whole thing, and he had interview, retirement press conference. Yeah, sorry, retirement press conference. And from what I watched, the one thing I can remember is his decision to retire was based on, him being injured the last two tournaments, and then he said he knew he was badly injured, but he wanted one more chance to prove himself. That's why he came back. But he had told his Oyakata Sadogatake Oyakata that if Terunofuji loses two, he's retiring. That was the point. So he lost day one, and he said, if I lose another one, I'm done. And he lost to Tobizaru that second time, and I think that was it for him. You could tell he was already, when he jumped off the dohyo. Every time he jumps off the dohyo, man, he always gets it and it hurts himself. You can hear him limping. It's crazy. Yeah, that's basically the decision. Those two losses was it for him.
Man, it kind of, it sucks. It sucks, right? It sucks. Because I think him coming up to Yokozuna was so historic, and I really like those battles that he did, right?
Yeah.
But he definitely has always been injured, and that's unfortunate. Always, it's wild.
If he never got injured that first time, I think he would have easily made it to Yokozuna at the age of 20 something, and probably would have had. I think he would have had at least 5 or 6 more championships.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it was a lot of Hakuho kind of in and out, and they really needed him to, they really wanted him to beat Hakuho, and Hakuho would kept going in and out of the bashos, and then he ended up not beating him, which is just kind of a little bit of a stinger. But hey, man, it is what it is, right? Now he's going for Oyakata status, which is going to be cool.
He is Terunofuji Oyakata, because Yokozunas are allowed a grace period of 5 years. They can be a Toshiori, which is Oyakata, not Oyakata, but Toshiori is just a position as a coach. Well, not coach, Oyakata. Anyway, it's a little bit different. Elder. That's what it is. They're allowed a 5-year grace period with their ring name as their elder name.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why Kakuryu was for almost I think it was 4.5 years for him, 4 years or something. He was really getting close to that limit. But I think, obviously, Sadokatake, his oyakata, Sadokatake oyakata, who is Terunofuji's oyakata, is retiring in a few months, I think. So it's probably pretty obvious Terunofuji is going to become the next Sadokatake oyakata.
That makes sense. Man, it's a little wild. And we have a prediction episode that will be coming out extremely soon. It was recorded a while ago, so
before this.
before this. So it's gonna sound like we're big time idiots, which we are. We're not. We own up to our brain power, and it's pretty powerful. In the dumbest way possible. But who do you think's next? Like with the landscape, right? I even threw out a little voting into our little chat room, which
that was good.
Was really fun, right? I think I'm gonna do more of those. I really like that. That was fun.
I think people that are watching the current basho with Kotozakura just blundering it completely, Onosato as well.
Yeah.
Blundering it. Everybody except Hoshoryu in the Sanyaku have been blundering this whole basho.
Yeah, Hoshoryu just lost though.
He just lost, but still, like, he did lose. But I mean, you watch the rest of the Ozekis, Hoshoryu has definitely been the best this basho. I think you're finally going to see Hoshoryu, because he has his like supernova moments, right? He's like bam, 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 he can win it all, and then he goes 2 bashos where he goes like 8-7, 9-6.
So, so hear me out. I really like basically all of the Ozekis right now. Like, they're all pretty dope. But Hoshoryu, like, none of them have that like that aura, right? Like that, like they show up and they're just like the guy, right? None of them have that, which is, it makes it a little difficult, because that's what you're supposed to be when you're Yokozuna. You're that guy, right? You're the big bad. You're the top. You are the Shao Kahn, right? But none of them really have it.
Exude that aura,
yeah, right. Like when Terunofuji's not. When he showed up, it was like 3 bashos ago, somewhere along those lines, and he was like, "I'm not hurt," and then he just demolished people. I was like, "There we go, there we go." That's what we want to see. He's a tank. He's just gonna go through. He's gonna plow through people.
We're not gonna get to see the Terunofuji special anymore. Kimedashi.
Oh man,
you're just out muscling people at that point. Like they say, he is. A lot of other wrestlers will say he is the strongest. Like just raw strength wise, he is the strongest. It was between him and Tochinoshin, I think.
That makes sense. Which same move.
Gonna break your elbows.
I know, and then you see little like Tobizaru. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, in our private little chat, we had, I think overall everybody thinks Hoshoryu is going to be the next up, but I don't think that we're going to get a Yokozuna in
this basho. You don't think so?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
You don't think even if Hoshoryu wins it at least 13-2?
Yes, if he goes 13-2, but I don't know if he can do 13-2. I think he's going to blunder.
Yeah. Well,
I know.
I don't know.
Basically,
I think 13-2 is a safe bet for him to get promoted, but
it is safe. It is safe. I agree that 100%. This is the safest bet that you can make. But Hoshoryu seems to really just drop the bag. Like, he fumbles the bag so many times. I think this might be one of those opportunities for him to
I was watching like a week ago or a week and a half ago, they released the footage of the Makuuchi training camp, right? The joint practice. And they did a and then they did a section where it's Ozeki and Yokozuna, and then most Hoshoryu was pretty much dominating the other two Ozekis. I think he had more wins than either of the other Ozekis.
Okay, so but that's
I think he's
also
on
like
form more. I think he's just on form more than the other two. They're all in their mid-20s.
Right.
I think they're around about the same age because Hoshoryu is like 26. I think Kotozakura is also about that old. And Onosato is probably 25, 24.
I think he's 24.
Yeah, they're all in the mid-20s.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it literally the guy should be Hoshoryu.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It should be.
It should be.
But, you know,
we don't know.
We will see. We will see. I think that's the ultimate, right?
I just don't know if JSA is comfortable with having no Yokozuna on the Banzuke.
So that's interesting, right? So you would have to go with are they comfortable with that? Or like it's not quite like an elephant in the room, but you know, Hoshoryu is Mongolian, right? Mm-hmm. And he has been forgetting things like bowing and stuff like that. And are they going to forgive that?
I also think they had a learning experience when they promoted Futahaguro back in the 80s, I think, who had no championships before and after becoming a Yokozuna, right? They wanted a Yokozuna, so they promoted him because he had a lot of Junyushos.
Right.
But he never won anything. So I don't think they want to make that mistake again.
Okay. All right.
Possibly. So it depends on how big he wins this time. 13-2 and above, and you get a promotion. If not, then I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So literally, it's on him. It's
on him. It is on him. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's the right way to look at it, but I still don't think he can do it. And it's not me being a hater. I actually really enjoy Hoshoryu. He's not one of those like guys where I'm like, I don't like his face. I love his style. I love everything that he does. Mm-hmm. It's just he seems to like just fall apart at weird times when he shouldn't. You know, like, but we will see. We will see. Yeah. Poor Onosato though. Poor Onosato. Like if he was in good form, he might have. I feel like it would be a bias, but the JSA is they can make decisions based upon their own opinion. So bias is a part of it, but like a young Japanese man going through, and maybe he was just a tank through this one, for sure they would have been like Yokozuna.
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
Which would have been pretty like super fast and crazy and wild. I don't know how good he would have been at holding the Yokozuna reins, but you know, I don't know if we're gonna have like that monster of a Yokozuna anymore. Is that just I
don't know. They're still in the mid-20s, all the Ozekis right now. So I think in a year, 2 years, they can be dominant. Okay. And you know, with Hoshoryu being this nephew of Asashoryu, there might be bias against him.
Exactly.
Yeah, there might be bias against him. Even though I think most of those elders are gone now.
Well, most of those elders are gone, but like
the JSA never forgets.
They never forget. And I mean, like it or not, like I think the Hakuho situation is definitely going to reflect on all Mongolians. Like that's just how it works, regardless of like people are like, oh, that's not fair, that's not this. It's like it's all again can be decided by decisions and biased and how they decide things, right? That's just the way it is. So I think that will be a factor also. But you know, who knows? Maybe they're like, oh, they were never cool. Right. I don't know. You never really know how this is gonna go. We are right smack in the middle. So we will.
Yeah.
Are you pointing to?
There's one more thing. I keep forgetting to mention because I always think and I always forget to mention. But Hoshoryu is Asashoryu's nephew. He has another nephew that just joined recently, last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Hoshoryu's brother. There was no mention that it was Hoshoryu's brother. It was just Asashoryu's nephew. So, if Hoshoryu doesn't ever get promoted to Yokozuna, he has one of his nephews has another chance.
And honestly, it'd be really cool if he comes in with that same style too, because Hoshoryu definitely has Asashoryu's style.
Yeah. So 100%. He can do it all.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to see if the other nephew is another clone of Asashoryu. That would be really cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, I just miss those days, man. Asashoryu. I mean, even though he was very, controversial figure,
mm-hmm.
but the dominance of Asashoryu, the dominance of Hakuo, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I missed that too, right? The only way that somebody would win the Basho is just because they weren't there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time it was that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're like,
not always, but most of the time.
Yeah, then they show up and you're like, well, here we go.
And then you had Haruma Fuji in the mix too.
Yeah.
And then you had Kakuryu come up a little bit, and then Asashoryu had to retire. Well, that's before Asashoryu. I think Kakuryu retired before the other three Yokozunas, I think. Haruma, Fuji, Kakuryu. And anyway, I don't know the exact timeline. This was not a talk about the old Yokozunas, it's about the new Yokozunas.
Yeah. So we will see. We will see.
We might see somebody completely different.
Yeah, bro.
It's unlikely, but we could.
It is unlikely. Watch.
In this year, this period,
yeah. Watch. We probably get no one for this one, and then they're just Yokozuna list for a second, and all of a sudden they get either fucking Onosato or one of those guys, one of the Japanese guys that do really good, and they're like, boom, Yokozuna, right? Yeah. Honestly, that's what I think is going to happen, but
who knows?
I'm most likely wrong. I'm an idiot, so I just like the JSA, they have their feelings and their emotions and their biases. I do too. Also, Kiribayama will never become Yokozuna.
He was so good. Before all of this is when I was still watching Hoshoryu and Kiribayama as Kiribayama, not Kirishima. Kiribayama. I think it was either when they were at the top of Makushita or when they just joined Juryu. I remember watching them and I was like, both of them are going to do well. Now I can tell you, who's going to do well? Aonishiki.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think so?
Ukrainian. Yeah.
You think so?
The other Ukrainian's going to do well.
All right.
He got 10-5 last special, and then I think he's doing well so far.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. I still have weird hopes for Gonoyama.
You have this obsession with Gonoyama.
I just have weird hopes and dreams for him. Just and it's what it is that Takayasu's on the way down.
Yeah,
and then
so you want to find someone with a similar body
type,
a
similar kind of body and style. So it's just I'm just gonna replace, and then my heart is just gonna continue to be broken. That's just what it is. That particular style is dynamic when it's dynamic, and then it flops when it flops, and it's just what it is. It's just what it is. But I have hopes and dreams. I think that's a good spot for us to end here. Thank you. This one will be an irregular episode, so you guys will just will be getting more minimum effort. Maybe some would even say minimum effort to the max. Minimum effort to the max. Sumo wrestling, no tracks. JJ and Mengkin, just relax. Life unfolds with chill.
Sumo tales bringing lives. We just chat, no surprise. Lost in stories that thrive. No edits, no fuss. Sumo tales just for us. In this groove we trust. It's the lazy talk.